Bum bum bum. Hello, nobody. How is nobody today? I do believe it's Saturday. I do believe it is 7 p.m. where I am, and I believe somebody has gotten here. Botrix, yeah. What is Botrix? I don't know exactly what Botrix is, Jack. It's like some automatic bot thing. I have no idea. It's the software updated a while ago, and it threw this Botrix thing in, and I don't know what it does. I'm gonna figure it out one day. I don't know. I can apparently remove it. I don't know what it does. I'll figure it out. Botrix is in the house. AI taking on everything, right? Everything. Even gonna screw up the chat again. It's just like back in the day. Everything's gonna be taken over by bots, scams, and a woman in your area who want to meet you. Would you have sex with her? Ha 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 ha. That's half of what's on the internet these days. Bloody hell. So, Jack, are you in the area that's going to be getting stormed? It's supposed to be a massive cold and snow and storms cruising across the country. We call that Monday. You know, it's been like negative 45 here the last few days. It's been kind of cold. It's been really sucking working outside, I tell you. And now I hear, what is it? Help, help. Botrix. Yeah, I don't know what Botrix does. He does something. And I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if Botrix belongs to YouTube or belongs to the software I use or what. I mean, it might belong to OBS. I don't know. No storm here in Russia. No storm? All right. Supposed to be storms everywhere. We don't get storms. We just get like winter. It's all the same. We'll see if everybody from the southern area shows on up. People might be avoiding things, hiding. I know Robert's making chili today. He said staying in the house, hiding. Probably having himself a nice stiff drink, a hot toddy or two to stay warm. Oh, check this out. I made this today. Oh, broke the antenna off. Bastard. There, pop that back on. See? Little, little, little Lego boombox, little ghetto blaster. You open it up. It's even got a little tape inside. Of course, the camera doesn't show it very well. Put that back. Bada boom. All right. Now, I really don't know where I was going to go today or what I was going to do. I was going to sit back. I was going to work on get the intro back up again and fix the way I want it. And you think that would happen? No. I fell asleep. It's been cold. It's getting old. Cold weather, bad hips, bad knees, bad fingers, bad everything. You can't help yourself anymore. And then I don't turn on the computer because I don't want to look at the internet because, well, quite frankly, it's like chaos in the world. It is absolutely bombastically insane. Too much. Too much. So I got the fire going behind me. It's nice and warm. Hey, Cy. Are you getting hit with the cold weather yet? I heard there was going to be some coming your way too. I thought I would share, You know, that cold weather misery that I've been having here for like the last few days. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna send that to Chris. Shoo, and drop that freezing weather south. Lots of snow, lots of cold, some wind. Yeah, it's snowing. You're gonna get lots. You're gonna get buried. You're gonna get stuck in your yard. Take it back. No, 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 no. No backsies. Nope. It's a gift. You don't say no to a gift. You don't. No, I can't take it back. It's a one way thing. You know. I will tell you though is you can send some warm weather this way. We'll take some of that. I'll trade you a little. You know, thaw some shit out here so the vehicles start. Get so cold here, your tires are flat in the morning, so you can't drive anywhere. Car's so frozen that nothing turns. You're afraid to open the door because it's going to snap off and the metal hinges are going to break and your car door is going to fall down. It's just wonderful. It's perfect. It's peachy keen. It's great. It's fantastic. It is all them things. So what do you do? Not a hell of a lot. Oh, where do we run with this? Because I get thinking, too old for shit, man. You remember the blizzard of 78. Hmm. Say an inch or so. Oh, that's not much. That's nothing. Shit, we'll get 2 feet here in a single day. In like a 24-hour period, you'll go to bed, be no snow, you get up in the morning, and there's 2 feet. So you're stuck. You can't drive anywhere until the plow comes out. But there's so much snow, it takes like 3 days for the plow to come by. Oh, bzz, bzz, bzz. Phone a buzzing. What's that? Oh, it's a weather alert. Oh, and it's telling me that I'm live on YouTube. Ooh. Oh, bloody hell. Let's see. There's nothing happening. I mean, I had some. Oh. For there, it's a state of emergency. I heard that there was like a dozen, 10 or 12 states already that before the storm come in had already declared a state of emergency. I mean, how is an inch of snow a state of emergency? I mean, I get it. You probably don't have winter tires or even rain tires. You probably just got regular old summer tires or all weather or whatever the hell it is you're driving on. So a little bit of snow. Tires don't matter. It's all about driving. People got to learn. Everybody should know how to drive in the snow. Everybody should know how to drive on ice. Everybody should know how to drive in a torrential downpour of a rainstorm. Everybody should learn all them things. Everybody should learn how to roll a car properly. You know, that's what I say. You should roll a car. They should put you in a car. They should put you in the car, the roll car simulator that they have for some drivers' education places. They put you in the car and you're driving along, and it's on a gimbal and it rolls, so it can teach you what it's like to be in a vehicle as it's flipping. I think that's and for good measure, right? For good measure when they're doing that, so you can traumatize young people now when they get their driver's license. You put them in that roll car and you sit there, and in order to make it real, you simulate that maybe their passenger wasn't wearing a seatbelt and they lose a body part, so you throw a couple pig organs in there that are still warm because they've just been moved, and poof, just like that, right? They get splattered with body parts while the car is rolling. Ah, Jack never rolled a car, but learned to jump one like a BMX bike. Damn. I can't say I ever jumped a car. Not a car. I tried to jump over a car on the night of my 21st birthday, and I slipped and I wiped out pretty bad, and I busted my knee. So, it was a trip to the hospital. 21st birthday, it was just after midnight, bust my knee, and go to the hospital? No. Had my friends load me in the car, and we drove off to this big bonfire party where it was like time, it was time to go party, man. A broken knee be damned. I'm gonna go party. There's nothing a bunch of booze and a little bit of party favors weren't gonna fix for the night, right? You can go to that hospital in the morning. Busted knees not gonna it's not gonna stop me from going out and having a good time. Until you get there, yeah, on my birthday. Until you wind up and you get there, and what happens, you run into somebody who has been wanting to pick a fight with you forever, but they've always been nervous about it. And then they realize that you have a busted knee and can't stand, and all of a sudden, they want to fight. And then what happens? Your buddy's got to throw you back in the car, drag your ass off to the hospital because you're too loaded yourself that you're going to figure out you're going to go do this. Yeah. It's a good thing I mellowed out. Could have caused a lot of problems. I was I was the crazy partier Gen X guy when I was younger, I tell you. The stuff we did. And we would have themes, right? Like in '96, the entire summer, the theme was tequila. That's it. That's all we drank. That's all anybody drank. That's all anyone was allowed to drink. I mean, you had water and coffee, of course. But I mean, if you were getting anything other than coffee with your breakfast and some water so you didn't die, everything was tequila, 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 tequila. That was it. Nothing else. No beer, no rum, no rye, no wine, no nothing. It was just tequila. And by the end of the summer, everybody was getting sick of tequila. So fall became whiskey. And it was whiskey time. And then when winter set in, it was nothing but rum. And then spring, it was nothing but vodka. It's no wonder half the people I knew are dead from either alcohol, drugs, or accidents of some kind. Ooh, brutal it was. Seriously, that shit would destroy you. I mean, where is one time we're at the local fair rodeo and all that stuff, having a good time at the beer garden, right? The temporary tent bar they set up so you can go, but it didn't really have an age limit. You couldn't drink, but there were people there of all ages running around, and they would only toss them out if they were being too much of a pain in the ass. But we were getting ready to leave, and there were these people there that didn't like some of the people I was with, and as I was leaving, this one dude spit on me as I walked by, like a big mouthful of beer that he had. He spit in my face as I walked by. I remember stopping and turning around and start walking back, and I'm like, "Hey!" And my friends and my one buddy's mother was there and grabbed me, and everyone's like, "You turn around, Mike. You're going back. Go home. Get in the car. You're going home." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I'm just gonna talk to him." And they're like, "No, you're not." And I said, "Yeah, I just want to go talk to him. I want to go and explain to him how rude that was." But nobody let me go. Oh, well. That was probably a good thing because that probably would have ended up with. Well, it was beer gardens. Beer gardens, you were essentially, it was a freebie. You could punch somebody out and not get in trouble. Beer gardens, that's just what they were for. 3 days a year. You go there, get liquored up, punch somebody out, and nobody would call the cops. It allowed you to settle some scores. Oh, so Chris, you're hoping for no power outage? It won't be a power outage around here. Not unless it's intentional. Someone's gonna come along, knock a power transmission line over or some shit. It'd be a blast. And Jack, breaking your knee on your birthday sucks ass. Real bad. But it's not as bad as when I got the handlebars driven through the chest on my bicycle. I was 10. I raced BMX at the time. And I was getting ready for another competition, and I was practicing stunts on jumps because I was getting ready for a jump competition. And I wasn't wearing my chest protector, no helmet, no nothing. and I screwed up on the jump. I got higher than I ever have, which is usually how this shit goes sideways. And I was coming down, and so I let go of my bike, and it hit the ground, and the handlebar was sticking up, and I came down chest first on that sucker, and just wham, impaled myself on the handlebars of the bike right here. Just I was in the hospital for like 8 months. That was brutal. That was harsh, and months and no food. No, not even allowed to sip water. Everything. It was just IV fluids, man. That was it. I couldn't drink. I couldn't eat. I couldn't nothing. And then after about 5 months, they're like, you can have a little bit of jello. Little bit of jello. And I'll never forget when they allowed me to finally eat. The old man snuck me in an Arby's beef and cheddar, and I thought that was the most glorious sandwich in the world, man. Eating this Arby's beef and cheddar. Mind you, I was now 11. I had my birthday in the hospital, eating this thing. And when I finally got out, I remember when I got out because it was the first time Burger King had them triple little buddy burgers in the thing, with the three little mini burgers that were in like the frickin' box was like a hot dog box, and they put them three little tiny burgers in, and it was Burger Buddies. I'm talking like 1980, 86, 1987, somewhere in there. And we left and went to like Burger King, ate those, went to Harvey's, ate there, went to Dairy Queen, ate like it just went all over the place. I must have went to like 7 restaurants that day and just chowed down because it was the first full day I was allowed to have food. It was the day they let me out of the hospital. Because they said eating was gonna make me die. Nothing worked. My liver was fucked up. My pancreas, my spleen, everything was all screwed, man. But enough of that near death crap when you're little. You know, you can't have that. Almost drowned. Was electrocuted. It was almost like that someone was looking at me like I was Rasputin or something, right? I'm gonna stab him, gonna drown him, gonna electrocute him, gonna set him on fire. Although that was my own fault. Well, no, actually, that wasn't. That was high school, freshman year. Of course, like many of the guys, I had like the pants that were like all shredded and threaded, right? And wearing some sort of, spandex underneath. The whole friggin' 80s metal rocking it thing. And we're in A&W. And all of a sudden, my leg got fucking warm, man. I looked down, and some asshole had sat down beside me. And he took his lighter, and he lit the threads on my pants on fire. And because the whole right leg of my jeans was basically threaded and shredded, I spent hours with a razor blade taken to it to get that look. And it was so thin and threaded, it went up like crazy. Just bam. And I'm just like, oh shit, trying to put this out. Toss me out of there because, you're goofing around, not supposed to. I'm like, it's that asshole lit me on fire. But that, we got that settled. Jack, you too? Drowned, check. Electrocuted, check. Still kicking. Damn right. Just call us Timex Gen X. Ha! There we go. Gen X, the Timex generation. Take a licking and keep on ticking. That's the new one for you. Isn't that when that motto came out too with the Timex, right? Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. That was in our time. Same as us. Take a licking and keep on ticking. Say, beat it all to hell. We're going to rock the world and do our own thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got to tell you. I know some people are just chomping at the bit. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Ha! This just showed up in my feed here. I gotta play this quickly, just the audio because I think this is funny. It doesn't seem to be going. Hold on, I know what I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. What'd I do? Hold on, let me do this again. Huh. That's what I need to do. Stupid, silly me.
I called a radio talk show. I gave them the solution to the crisis in the Middle East. Giving the Palestinians Greenland? I didn't know that was you. You were great.
Giving the Palestinians Greenland?
I had to. I saw that and I'm like, I had to play that with all the Greenland stuff going on, right? Give it to the Palestinians. There you go. Oh, I thought that was funny. I just laughed and laughed and laughed. Ooh, 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 ooh. Cramp, 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 cramp. Another cramp. Oh, son of a bitch. Ooh. Not going to jump up and hop around on this one. Oh, got it. Saved it. Stopped it. Holy shit. That hurt. Where everybody's hiding. Is it just because time changed? Everyone thinks I start earlier than I used to and I didn't. It's because everybody else's clocks changed and not mine. Or the weather got bad and everybody's already losing their power. They're getting buried in 2 feet of snow, and it is the end of the world. It is the winter weather apocalypse upon us all. Again, we call that Monday. It's just that is a normal day here. But like I was telling, Robert sent me a thing earlier about how cold it was in Roswell today. So then I showed him how cold it was here, and even just north of me, a 45-minute drive north of me, it got all the way down to negative 53 centigrade, which is pretty much exactly the same in Fahrenheit, only a few degrees difference on that scale. Once you get to minus 40, it is minus 40 is the same, and anything beyond that, you don't even really notice the difference anymore. It just means you die quicker. That is it. And people ask, what do you guys do up there when it gets that cold? I said, just try not to die. That's it. That's your goal for the day. Not wanting to die. Don't want to be a frozen popsicle on the side of the road. Wake up, people come by and there you are in the ditch, semi thawing in the morning sun with 7 coyotes gnawing at your corpse, eating you like a meat popsicle. Isn't that an image to take home, right? Dead and frozen in the ditch on the side of the highway with a bunch of coyotes chewing on you, gnawing and licking away. First an ear, then a toe. Maybe your lips are gone. Yeah, that paints a pretty picture. A woman's going to listen to this and she's going to be like, you shut that shit down. You stop talking like that. Don't you go there. But I want to. Oh, where do we go? I said it last time, and I've been looking to find one. But my goal this year is to solve a Rubik's Cube. I have said that last time, and I mean it. And I got to find an actual good Rubik's Cube. The real deal. Not some weird new thing. I want an official one from back in the day. Oh, the official Rubik's Cube. No, no, no. They don't have 3 colors. What are with these 3 color Rubik's Cubes? I remember them having 4. Didn't they have 4, or was they always just 3? Really? I thought they were bigger. Except the cookies. Oh, solution guide to the Rubik's Cube. I've always heard that the trick to it is no matter how they're mixed up, it's only like 9 moves or something like that, and bam, the Rubik's Cube is solved every time. Oh, but here's this one. Peel and reveal to solve with stickers. Ha ha ha. Oh well. Products. Ooh. Yawn. Make some noise, everybody. Keep me awake. Come on, holler. Everybody, do the wave wherever you are. Ready? Woo! I know I sound just like another cracked out individual with cold, frozen brain that's half thawed and damn near dead. But that's okay. It's all babbling bullshit nonsense. Sometimes it's just all you gotta do. You don't need to be Teflon and magnets in them. Oh. Really advanced Rubik's Cube. I've seen some of these competitions that they still do, Jack, with the Rubik's Cubes. And some of these, like, the people that do them with one hand are just like, flick, 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 flick. And it's like 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds. And these things are solved and down. Like the one I was looking at here, when I go to the official Rubik's Cube site, okay, they have, like, where is it here? And the products they were showing it. There's a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. There is a Tetris Rubik's Cube. Like, what the hell, man? Like, these things are nuts. Oh, there's more. There's more. Rubik's Cube Spider-Man, Batman, Iron Man. Look at this shit. Where is it? No. That'll be this one. Hold on. I'll get this here. There we go. Look at this. Black Panther Rubik's Cube. There's an Iron Man Rubik's Cube. These things are ridiculous. They have a Batman one here over on the side, a Spider-Man, a 4x4. Oh, they have more. They have more. Load more cubes. Wow. There's a 5x5. You imagine trying to solve that? And mix that sucker up so much. I mean, and there are the guys I've seen them. Apparently, they're so good at solving them that even if you swap some stickers around, about halfway through, they would realize that the stickers were changed, and they could probably even tell you which ones. I mean, that is absolutely nuts. That is the craziest thing when it comes to a Rubik's Cube. They would have more. What do they got? Like a 9x9? Oh, there's the little ones. The Rubik's Apprentice, a 2x2. Haha, there we go. What in the world do you do with a Rubik's snake? Huh. Okay. I seem to remember those silly things. Rubik's snake, like, come on. Rubik's like, what the hell, man? They just Rubik's everything. They just marketing stunt, right? It's like there's Lego everything too. Rubik's Family Bundle. I remember the little ones that used to be on the chains. You know, they what I've been looking for and trying to find, and I came across it once, and I wasn't quick enough to get it. But somebody had a classic Ghetto Blaster, the real deal, right? And but here, check this out. How the hell did that happen? Here, look at this. Okay, you see this? Right? Okay, look at this. CD, USB, cassette, Bluetooth, auxiliary X, Bluetooth connection, headphone jack, old-fashioned recorder for home and beach. $1,395. And it's not even the real thing. It's not a genuine classic antique, I guess it would be now, right? Like the classic the big boom boxes that were so massive, people would like pull them along in their little red radio flyer wagon because they didn't want to carry it on their shoulder all day because there was nothing like rocking out, right? Boom box up on the shoulder, just like just a partying hard. Like that is absolutely nuts. Let's see if I can find the real deal. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't know how I managed to put a side by side bar up there. Like again, I know, $1,300. Here's another one. It says it's another classic '80s style. Portable cassette player, radio, retro Bluetooth tape recorder. Bluetooth isn't retro. I don't want the Bluetooth. I don't want it to have USB or CDs. I want it an actual old school blaster. They're so hard to find. You got to find someone that actually still has one from somewhere. I'll even take the one. Remember when they had the little TV in them, little 3x3 or 4x4 inch TV when they got really big, and they would not only did you have them, but then you had to put in the batteries, and it was like 30,000 D cell batteries in the back that weighed another ton to get things going. Like, oh, I didn't even put that up there. Right here. This is the one right here. See, there's another one. It says it's a classic style, but it's USB, cassette recorder and all that stuff. Robert's not late. He was making chili. So it's all good. The man was making chili. As I hope he managed to get and made his chili. True, Jack, but that's probably the thing. It probably would have AI. It's going to randomly update and your friggin' old blaster is going to kill you. It's going to be like Mad Max. It's going to spit the tape out and try and strangle you to death as you try and wheel it back in with your pencil. Why did I say Mad Max? It's not Mad Max. It's Maximum Overdrive, where the cars and the vending machines and lawnmowers and shit and the electric knives. Green chili stew. Sorry, Robert. I apologize, man. Green chili stew. I just, I see chilies in the thing and I just think chili, just chili. But green chili stew. My apologies, brother. My apologies. I'm still a little cooked because we're like as cold as we are up here, and I have had people roll in the last couple days with Texas and New Mexico license plates, and I have to ask myself, and I ask them every time when I see them up here, when it is like minus 40 and minus 45, I'm like, why? Why would you choose to come up here this time of year? Has nobody told you that it gets cold? And the one person said, it's really cold here. It's nuts. And I said, yeah, I know it's nuts. And they said, what are you doing? I said, I just be thankful I don't live really far up north anymore where it got real cold. And they always look at me and I'm like, I'm not kidding. I come from real north where it gets real cold. Let me get that shit off the screen again. Look at this one, Robert. You're going to want to see this. We're looking at the price here. Look at this thing. 1,395 for a so-called retro blaster that it's not even the real thing because it's got the old school headphone jack and old-fashioned recorder for home beach, but it's got Bluetooth, USB. That's not retro and that's not old school. That is fake. Now, if it was the real deal, like if it was the actual old, you remember the old silver RCA ones that they had, from the early 80s, if it was one of those, the legitimate one, not open, still sealed in a box, I could see it going for that much or even more. Just out of the nostalgia factor, somebody would buy it. because it'd be like, oh, the brand new one they didn't get when they were little because they inherited it from their uncle who bought a kick-ass house stereo, or an older brother that went off to college and left it behind, and then mom said you could have it until your brother got home from school and kicked your ass because you had it and it was no longer in his room, right? So yeah, I know it was descriptive, but no, that did not happen to me because I do not have an older brother. You're saying you got the vinyl CD cassette radio with Bluetooth. I do like the fact that you can buy the new little like turntables that have the USB, so you can plug them into a computer, or they can, it's nuts. But I want the real deal. But they all have Bluetooth and shit. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we are. An actual Lasonic TRC 975 vintage Ghetto Blaster boombox. 90s one. One owner, still working. $2,452 Canadian Canucks. Like that. Ho, 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 ho. So that's going to be like $1,800 American. That is absolutely insane. And of course, it ships from Japan. Of course, that's where it's going to be, right? What else do they have? That's the one I'm talking about right there. $273 plus $106 shipping. That's the one. That's the one I'm looking for right there. The 80s, the Samuel boombox, AM FM cassette boombox Ghetto Blaster. This one is working apparently. This is the crap I'm talking about. That's the real deal right there. That is the real deal. Oh man, look at that. The switches, right? Main wave, shortwave 1, shortwave 2, FM. Nice. And even got the shortwave. Look at that. That's what I'm looking for. That's classic right there. Oh, yeah. Hey, look at that. All the tape marks from having to hold the cover closed. That's how you know she's authentic. Looks like the tabs are busted off for the batteries. Now, what was that again? That would be like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 D cells or something? Yeah, Jack, only one cassette. Only one. It didn't have this. Doesn't have the dual on this one, so there's no high speed dubbing between the two. You remember when we discovered that high speed dubbing? So your friend would buy a tape, you'd get that blank, and you'd just be like, you would rip that shit so fast so you could have a copy, so you could cut back on album sales. I don't know why. People like Lars started bitching when like Napster came or internet downloading. Oh, because people are getting our songs for free. When blank cassette tapes made it so you could get shit for free all the time, especially once they added high speed dubbing. What did they think we were going to use that for? Dubbing our own crap and our own sounds, talking away like a bunch of idiots? No. Let's see. I got a couple others in here. There's the old General Electric one. There's another Sony. There you go. There's another dual cassette. The Sharp GF 919 dual cassette right up there. Look at them speakers, $2,700. Like, that's nuts. And then there's the Panasonic. Wow. Oh, 13,900 bucks, $547 shipping. You see this shit? Look at this sucker. 10,000 US. Super Jumbo Boombox Mint. You remember these? $10,000. That is 10,000 US. No. 14,000 Canadian for that sucker. That see that is what you expect when you find these things. This is wild. Sales ends in 1 day, in 3 hours. I wonder if anybody has even come close to the bid price, right? It's absolutely nuts. Yeah, Jack 5. Considering you're paying $10,000 for a real vintage boombox, they damn well better make sure that sucker shows up intact. That is crazy. Let's see if I can find another one. This is wild. Oh, here's another one of these, but this one comes with the box. Hey, Flower. We're looking at some old ghetto blasters, old boom boxes that are up. This one, 950 US, comes with the box. That in itself makes it, that is, oof. Kind of wish I had the extra 1,000 kicking around to blow on something like that. The fact that it comes with the box. Clearly, the box has seen better days, but hey, that's not an issue as far as I'm concerned. Clear some of these out. Let's see if I can find any more good ones. No. Oh, what's that? Yeah, you see those? Your mom had the ultimate Sony system in the glass cabinet. Nice. Huh. These are crazy. And then remember they started making some of them. This one here, if I believe, it's just parts only, but they had the detachable speakers. Remember the ones? The speakers would slide off the side, and you could undo the wire and spread them out, so they not only your boombox, but then they doubled as your home stereo. Yeah. Actually, that would be one of these right here. This sucker. Right here. This is one of the ones. This is it. Remember, the speakers would slide up and off so you could spread them out. Yeah. I heard the woman home. Hopefully she moves the vehicles around. Oh, let's see. Classic. Not bad. Not bad. Ah. None of these have the original ones that had the old TV in them, too. Graphics equalizer. Man, oh man. Classic stuff. I wonder, what would you think? Say somebody, you managed to get a chunk of land that you could do cabins for kind of a getaway, right? Like a little getaway, say a couple's getaway. But you deck the whole place out entirely vintage. I hate that fucking word. Makes us feel real old. Makes us sound old, vintage, classic, antique. You know what I mean? Stuff from our childhood, that generational thing where the entire place is done up that way. The old school TV, the old Ghetto Blaster stereo, right? It's, lock a landline in there with a rotary phone, And you institute a cell jammer so people can't use your cell phone if you want to call it. You got to use the rotary phone so nobody can hassle you. You know, I wonder if people would want to go there for vacation. If people would, I think I would. I would. But hey, oof. Oh, I see a conversation about flower. You're all over the reel. I just mean because it would feel simpler. You don't have all that extra modern technology to lock your ass in, right? But you don't have to go all super rough in it. It would just kind of it would feel kind of like home. Like me, one of the best feelings I get, okay, is when I get the chance to go visit my aunt at her lake house, because you go there and she's got like no radios or anything going. She's got one little radio that sits in the kitchen. So when you're making coffee in the morning, you can sit at the table in the kitchen, drink your coffee, listen to the radio. And in one room, way down in the basement, way in the back corner, you got to go through three other rooms to get there, is the only place that she has one little single TV. And she only goes down there 2 nights a week for like 2 hours to watch TV. That is it. The rest of the time there, it's like, it is peaceful as hell. Her entire resort, they do not have a street light anywhere. They got nothing like that. So, I mean, when it's nighttime, it is night. It is dark. You don't see shit. You wouldn't know when you went out your door into the backyard if there was a bear out there or a cougar ready to snap you and make you a snackable lunch. You would have no idea because it is that dark. And it's just instant relaxing. The second you turn off that highway onto the access road into that resort, and you just feel at home, at peace. You just wind right down. Maybe there's a couple wild turkeys sitting there on the side of the road. And I'm talking the bird, not the bottle. But, it would be nice to find a bottle of wild turkey as you're driving along and heading to there, because then you can go down to the lake, you can have a few, and you can kick back and relax and hang your feet off the dock in the water and enjoy yourself. See, there you go, Robert. Flower, it's just the idea of like I'm over wild turkey. Yeah, I liked it the other way, Robert. Yeah, wild turkey. Yeah, it's like I look at you and go 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 go. Wild turkey eye. I love it. Wild. That's what you get after you drink a bottle. You wild turkey eye. The dog is yapping. She must be in her kennel. I need to move the cars around so the woman can plug her car in because it's cold. And of course, the SUV I drive can't plug it in because it's from West Virginia, so it doesn't have a block heater in it to keep it warm. For those people who don't know, block heater is what it sounds like. It's a little heater that goes in attaches to the end. It gets attached to the engine in your car, and you plug in your car, and it makes sure that all the fluids in your engine stay warm overnight when it's so cold that everything freezes solid. It gets so cold here sometimes that even with all the additives in it, the gas in your gas tank can turn into jelly. Diesel vehicles are no good up here when it gets that cold. You basically you got to keep them indoors when they're not running, and when they're outside, they cannot be turned off. Flower, I should move to your one convenience store town and operate it better than the current TP butt wipe. Jack, how does a vehicle from West Virginia end up in Canada? I don't know. My guess is, you see, at one point in time, cars, at one point in time, even when the exchange rate was bad for Canadians, cars in the US were sold so much cheaper that even with the exchange rate, they would go down to the States and buy their cars there and bring them back because you could get the car for half the price, even with the exchange rate. And that's how there's a lot of vehicles up here. I mean, it was a car, it was built for West Virginia. It was built for it, but it has kilometers on the speedometer, right? It's miles are the big one, and then it's got kilometers, where up all the cars built for Canada have kilometers are the big numbers, but the miles per hour are a little smaller number. But I don't even pay attention to that. I can tell what speed I'm going by the RPMs, you know. Was it Triumph? No. Oh, Triumph is British. Yeah, I know, Robert. It's kind of wild, right? I mean, it gets messed up here too because everybody uses the metric system. Shit, even most of the U.S. uses the metric system when you're doing business or anything, or international trade or the military or everything. It's all metric. However, up here, when we build residential houses, we build it in standard. It's done by square feet, inches, feet, feet and yards. But when we build commercial or industrial, it's all done in metric. So then you sit there and it's like you're measuring stuff and they're like, well, how long is it? And it's like, oh, 6,000 millimeters. And you'll get guys that have never built commercial come in from residential and they don't have any tape measures that work because it's all standard. It's all just in inches. So then they got to get a new one that's in like millimeters and centimeters and stuff. Flour, they do build them that can handle the intense freezing here. It's just, it is hard to build. When things start getting to minus 45 and minus 50, it doesn't matter what you make. You know, Sorel are the best. You get a pair of Sorel North Pole trekkers, and you could trek to the North Pole. They are the greatest winter boot made in history. I don't care what anybody says. Flower, you got me behind you on that one. Sorel is the best boot in existence. Hell yeah. But they do. Shit, at one time there was even five strictly solely 100% Canadian car companies. There's one now that builds a supercar, but your feet should never get wet working in snow. If your feet are getting wet working in snow, you are either in too deep of snow, then you should have your pants over top, or you should have some gaiters on as well to seal your pant leg around your boot. your feet should not be getting wet if you're working in the snow. Gators are your friend. Remember that. So, Robert, was the green chili stew good? Was it really good? I imagine it was good. I just sit here and vicariously think about it. We have shorts. Yeah, but I'm betting you're inside right now, too. You have shorts on. Robert, you missed it earlier, but I had mentioned that I had a couple people stop into the station yesterday that had Texas and New Mexico plates. And they had just come up. And I asked them, why the hell would you come up here this time of year? Like, why? Why would you come up here this time of year? It's absolutely nuts. It was like the one day as a young man drove in and he had Florida plates on his vehicle. And he had drove all the way up. And I'm just like, that is a long ass drive. And then he told me where he's going. And I said, you're going to a very awesome place, a very beautiful town, man. He was going to Banff. But I said, I bet you didn't know it was like a 7-day drive when you left. And he did not. He did not know it would take like 7 days to drive from Florida all the way to Banff. He thought maybe, a day to get into Canada from Florida and then another half day to get there. He didn't realize that. Nobody realizes how big it is. It takes over a week to drive from one end to the other. What's up, Flower? You said last Saturday you were late to the show because you were naked cleaning the sunken bathtub, but that was last week. I missed that. I did not know that you ended your session in chat in the last line that you were late because you were naked cleaning the sunken bathtub. That I was not aware. I'll be damned. And yeah, Jack, I'm going to figure out what Botrix is. Oh, I just heard the door slam. I'm guessing the lady is going out and moving the vehicles because she has to plug her car in because it freezes solid. I had to clean out the jets of the hot tub function. So what, were you like having a bath at the same time? That's why it, is that why you had to be naked while you did it, or you just didn't want to get dirty and grimy? I mean, just asking questions here. It's an unusual statement. I was naked while cleaning the tub. A very good conclusion, Mr. Mike. You betcha. That's what I do. Jack, I know Florida it's long, right? If you look at Florida, right, the way it's shaped and everything, and you imagine it, all you gotta it looks to me like a hanging horse cock. That's right, I said it. You look at Florida on the map. It just looks like a big hanging horse dick. I said it. There you go. I mean, why not? uh, I, I think it's funny. I guess you could call. I guess you could put it that way too. But I mean, if you just have a Colt 45 hanging down flower, it looks like a hanging horse dick, or an elephant one. The Me Show, the one of a kind, the eighth wonder of the world. It is Flower cleaning a socket tub, everybody. The Me Show. Well, I hate doing it. I like it, and I hate doing it. But I'm warm. I'm tired. I'm cranky. I'm bitchy. I'm miserable. And yeah, I am all sorts of things. And I got to come up with something very special for June. The official Gen X Day. Yes, Flower, we all are tired, miserable, and cranky at our age. You damn right we are. Whether you're the 5-0 or you're coming on to double nickels or you're even a little older or maybe you're just a couple years younger, it doesn't matter. Once you cross that one line, that barrier, once you cross that 40, 45, you just become bam. Why, Flower? I don't know, but we were looking it up there the other day and it sat there and there is an official recognized Gen X Day, apparently. So, to hell with it, I am going to do a special show that day. I do believe it was a Wednesday or something. But a Gen X Jew in June. Ha 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 ha. There you go. But I will. Yeah, that's what Burning Man was for. Maybe that's what Burning Man was for. But didn't Burning Man go and just become some more commercial bullshit that everybody goes to? No. A real Gen X Burning Man would be that you would just quietly get it all arranged and you just randomly show up. Let me tell you about one of the best parties I ever went to. Okay, there were a bunch of us cruising around, and Buddy had a whole house stereo mounted in the back of his Chevette. So you just pop the hatch and you can rock out. You had the whole frickin' house stereo back there. It was great. And there's about 3-4 carloads of us, and we were looking for this bush party. We'd been driving all over trying to find it. We couldn't. We could not find this thing. We just kind of stopped on the side of the road. And a couple other cars had stopped, and we're on this secondary paved road that nobody's traveling on. We run into them, and they were looking for the same bush party we were, and we couldn't find it. They couldn't find it. Somebody probably stole the paper plate markers that we would use with arrows telling everybody where to go if they hadn't been there before. But we couldn't locate this thing. And then they were talking about what to do. And I said, to hell with it. We have our 3 carloads. They had a couple carloads. That's enough people to get started. I wandered into the ditch by the tree line. I pulled out some dead wood, dropped it right in that middle of that road, and I started a fire. And we had a bonfire in the middle of that little highway, and we just started cranking the tunes, popped open all the coolers, and we started drinking and partying, and a few more vehicles joined us, and we rocked that sucker until the sun came up. Just a random pop-up bonfire party on the highway in the middle of nowhere. Was one of the best parties we ever went to. And you didn't get in trouble. Nobody give a shit. There was a couple people that were just going on by, probably going home, farmers, and nobody. Oh. It was. Kinda, Jack, kinda. Yes, I remember Stone Soup. You betcha. Man, I've tried explaining that book to some people the other day when someone sat there and said, what are you going to make for supper? I said, I don't know, some Stone Soup maybe. And they're like, what? And I'm like, you don't know the story of Stone Soup? Don't they teach the story of Stone Soup anymore? I like it. You could compare it to that. I never even thought of that as a Stone Soup party. But it was awesome. Nobody did a damn thing. And another one we did too is because it gets so cold here and it gets so frozen and the frost goes like 6 feet into the ground. If they got to dig up the ground for something and it's not an emergency, they will lay out a bunch of oiled railway ties. They'll cut out the pavement where they need them and lay these railway ties out, and they'll light them on fire, and they will burn a fire over top of that ground for 2 or 3 days to bring the frost out to dig down. And in town one day, they lit one and they were burning it in front of my house, and I started calling people over. I'm like, let's have a party around the fire. That didn't last. The town came by, the police came by, and then they put some barricades up, and you can't do that because, the town lit the fire, liability, and all that bullshit. Well, I care, man. I just wanted to have some fun. But anyway, I'm going to wander. I'm going to take off. I am going to scram. Adios, gonzo. It's going to be like summer school, man. I'm going to grab that pass. I'm going to wander to the bathroom, and you ain't going to see me until next week. So everybody have a fantastic time, and I'll see you